Good evening, you're now with me, Razi Ahmad, for TVS Nightline. Here are the headlines for tonight. Iconic sea stack at BAKO has allegedly collapsed and is now no more. Sarawak now researching how to harness the power of the wind. And the state continues to strive for health autonomy as stipulated under MA 63. The iconic sea stack at BAKO that resembled a serpent's head has allegedly collapsed and is now no more. In a video posted on the Facebook page of tour and travel company Borneo Adventure earlier today, tour guide Paul Matthew can be heard saying the sea stack is gone, really gone. Now, in response, the Sarawak Forestry Corporation, SFC, is now looking into the alleged collapse. Its Chief Executive Officer, Abang Arabi Abang Amran, when contacted by the media, said he had been alerted of the news but has not yet confirmed whether the sea stack has actually collapsed. According to him, a team of wildlife rangers have been instructed to walk through a trail to the location of the sea stack as traveling via boat is out of the picture due to the rough seas. I will keep you updated on any developments to this story. In other news, Sarawak is conducting a study on harnessing the power of the wind as an alternative form of electrical power generation. Now, Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Joritun Openg, said the production of the energy resource will make use of the state's technological advancements.
Sekarang pun sudah ada, saya buat eksperimen angin. Angin kita punya bukan macam Popela punya, dia ini macam empat, ada angin tiup dia pusing. AI generated and AI control blade, dia boleh keluarkan current.
Without revealing the technology, Abang Johari emphasized the Sarawak's government commitment to developing energy from various sources such as solar, hydrogen, carbon and wind to address climate challenges, as well as to drive the state's economic development. Therefore, he wants the Sarawakian youth to excel in and explore the new fields introduced by the government.
Next week, the whole European Union ambassadors coming to Sarawak to learn about carbon. So this is my economy baru, carbon trading baru, all this is baru ni. So what we do, we teach Sarawakian on new technology, new product.
He said this in a speech during the Chinese New Year dinner organized by SUPP Miri Sibuti, Parliamentary Liaison Committee in Miri on Monday. Currently, Sarawak is actively exploring diverse energy options to secure its dominance as a regional power supplier.
Sarawak will continue to strive for health autonomy as stipulated under the Malaysia Agreement 1963 or MA 63. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian, reiterated Sarawak's stance of overseeing the development and health policies in the region, adding that with such power, healthcare infrastructure could be improved even further without needing to wait for lengthy approvals from the federal government.
These are part of what I would call it MA63 health autonomy negotiation. Because we want to take back the kuasa so that we can decide ourselves. Rather than keep on waiting for Kuala Lumpur will say, seluruh negara banyak orang, you join the queue lah.
Dr. Sim, who is also the state's Minister of Public Health, Housing and Local Government, said that Sarawak is in dire need of additional healthcare facilities, which is long overdue. With the health autonomy, he said the state government can implement more effective health policies for the community, in line with Sarawak's aspiration to provide an optimum and holistic healthcare system as a developed region by 2030.
The Sarawak government has established a task force to study the need for additional community leaders within the Chinese community, following a rapid population growth and development of residential areas across Sarawak. Deputy Premier of Sarawak, Dr. Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian, said the task force will work collaboratively with the State Secretary to fill the vacant community leader positions in the region.
The vacancy should be filled as soon as possible. I will discuss with the YB because local YB need to involve, because it involved in Lawas and Limbang, Bahagian Limbang. So I will try to coordinate. As regarding to the extra position, because our population increases, so that is a very common issue, not only for Bahagian Limbang, actually also in Bujing, in my own Kawasan, Batukawa also, and the state government has basically set out a committee to look into this.
Dr. Sim added that the state government is aware of the need to fill vacancies for Chinese Temengongs, in addition to 1 penghulu position and 4 kapitan positions in Limbang and Lawas. He added that discussions will also be held with local leaders regarding the need to fill the vacancies in the Limbang division.
3 men cheated death after their car plunged into a 15-foot ravine along Mile 6 Road, Cebu Bintulu Road on Monday. In the 8 p.m. incident, a 19-year-old suffered serious injuries after he was flung out of the vehicle, while 2 others suffered minor injuries.
Berdasarkan laporan Komando Operasi, terdapat sebuah kenderaan pacuan 4 roda jenis Toyota Hilux telah terbabas lalu terjatuh ke dalam gaung dengan kedalaman ketinggiannya 15 kaki dari jalan raya. Seorang mangsa berusia 19 tahun yang tercampak keluar dari kenderaan mengalami cedera parah, manakala 2 lagi rakannya yang berusia 20 dan 22 tahun termasuk seorang yang terperangkap di dalam kenderaan hanya mengalami cedera ringan di lokasi kejadian.
Cebu Fire and Rescue Department Zone 4 Chief Andy Ali said the firemen took about 20 minutes to extricate the trapped victim. All 3 victims were then handed over to the Emergency Medical Rescue Service unit for initial treatment before being taken to the hospital.
Premier of Sarawak, Dato' Petinggi Tan Sri Abang Joritun Openg and his wife, Puan Sri Dato' Amar Jumani Tuanku Bujang, continued their visits to open houses in celebration of the Chinese New Year at the residence of Temenggong Dato' Vincent Lau in Cebu earlier today. Earlier, Abang Johari and his wife also visited the open house hosted by Pansar Group Managing Director Pemanca Dato' Jason Tai. Accompanying the Premier's entourage were Sarawak Deputy Premier Dato' Amar Dr. Sim Kui Hian, Minister of Utilities and Telecommunications Dato' Sri Julaihi Narawi, Deputy Minister of Education, Innovation and Talent Development Dato' Dr. Anwar Rapai, and Bukit Aceh State Assemblyman Joseph Chiang Jin Ek.
Visit some of the people, the community leaders, the people. So actually, that's sure that our Premier is very close to the people and then concerned of the people. So that's why, I think he visit every year. So actually, I think our Premier, has been, working very hard, for the improve the Sarawak in terms of economy, in terms of political stability. So we hope that the Sarawak will continue to enjoy the racial harmony and also to enjoy the sort of good economic growth. I think this is our sort of Chinese New Year wish. Everything best for the Sarawak.
Meanwhile, the chief of the Malay and Melanau community in Sibu, Temenggung Datuk Wan Hamid Edrus, said the people in Sibu district are thriving under the leadership of the Premier of Sarawak, Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Abang Johari Tun Openg. He highlighted that the Premier practices the principle of equality in developing the multi-ethnic community in this state.
Masa itu di Kampung Datuk telah membangun di pemindahan di Kampung Baru dan dalam perjalanan kita pergi airport kita lihat sebelahnya belah pembangunan dah naik dah dan kita harap akan berterusan lah. Dan yang penting sekali Sarawak mestilah stabil, mestilah kukuh. Kita mau bekerjasama mesti kukuh, mesti kuat. Politiknya kuat, insya-Allah kita akan dapat membangun Sarawak tu. Tiada masalah. Dan kita bersyukur dan berterima kasih dan beruntung nemu ketua menteri premier macam Dr. Bang Jo tu. Dia senang berunding, dia baik orangnya, orang jujur orangnya.
Reflecting on the Premier's visit to several residences in Sibu to celebrate the Chinese New Year, Wan Hamid said that the Premier's presence in Sibu is always eagerly anticipated by the local residents.
Ketibaan Premier di Sibu tu sangat-sangat disambut oleh semua masyarakat, khususnya orang bangsa Tionghoa. Kerana bangsa Tionghoa tu dekat di hati Premier tu, dekat. Kerana banyak pembangunan yang telah diatur untuk meningkatkan, kita tahulah Tionghoa tu ekonominya kuat.
Coming up right after the break, Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia confirms only 2 persons on board in the Kapar plane crash, plus hot, dry weather forecast at the end of the eastern monsoon season. Right here on TVS Nightline. Stay tuned. Back on TVS Nightline, the Civil Aviation Authority of Malaysia, CAM, confirmed that the aircraft model BK-160 Gabriel crashed near Kapar, Selangor earlier today. CAM Chief Executive Officer Datuk Captain Norazman Mahmud, in a statement, said 2 persons, including the pilot, were on board the flight operated by Air Adventure Flying Club.
He said the conditions of the 2 persons are yet to be confirmed as of press time. The Kuala Lumpur Aeronautical Rescue Coordination Centre, KLARCC, at the Kuala Lumpur Air Traffic Control Centre, KLATCC, was immediately activated to determine the location of the aircraft. Safety investigations will be conducted by the Air Accident Investigation Bureau under the Ministry of Transport Malaysia, in accordance with Part 26 of the Civil Aviation Regulations 2016.
Malaysia will have drier and hotter weather due to a lack of rain for a prolonged period following the final phase of the northeast monsoon that is expected to continue till the end of March. Malaysian Meteorological Department Met Malaysia Director General Muhammad Helmi Abdullah said that cloud cover and rainfall will be reduced in most areas, especially the north of the peninsula, including Perak, Pahang and Kelantan during this period.
In a statement earlier today, he said that during this time, daily maximum temperatures can exceed 35 degrees Celsius in early afternoons, adding that the highest temperature recorded by the department stations was 36.9 degrees Celsius in Chuping, Perlis on February 8. He further said higher temperatures are expected to occur due to the strong El Niño phenomenon and advised everyone to take steps in reducing water usage and limiting the time outside buildings to avoid overexposure to hot weather. He also urged the public to be conscious of weather changes and to obtain the latest weather information and warnings from Met Malaysia's official website, the My Cuaca app and its social media channels.
Throughout Malaysia, 220 immigrant hotspots have been identified, with the Immigration Department maintaining continuous operations and monitoring at these sites without pause. Its Director General, Dato' Ruslin Jusoh, said the hotspots include Jalan Silang, Kota Raya Complex, Bukit Bintang, and Masjid India in Kuala Lumpur.
Speaking in a talk show program at Bernama, Ruslin added that Chinatown is also a focal point for those who came from China and is categorized as a hotspot. To illustrate the number of illegal immigrants out of the total number of incoming foreigners, he said if there are more than 300 foreigners arrested during operations, for example, then those without legal documents number in fewer than 20 people. A total of 10,467 undocumented immigrants were detained out of 19,873 immigrants screened by the department from January 1st to February 8th. These detentions resulted from 1,687 operations conducted by the department since the start of 2024. Meanwhile, a total of 75 employers who were found to be hiring undocumented immigrants have been arrested. Ruslin also noted that the public perception often characterized these foreigners as undocumented immigrants, yet many are legally employed within the country.
The Demerit Performance Evaluation System, or DEEP, will be implemented starting this year, as was agreed upon by the Public Service Department. Chief Secretary to the Government, Tan Sri Muhammad Zuki Ali, said that with this system, all civil servants will be assessed based on their capabilities and determination.
He said this to reporters after presenting the message for the year 2024 earlier today. The evaluation process through the DEEP system will commence with a baseline score of 100 points. Subsequently, points will be deducted according to the demerit system if an officer fails to achieve the specified objectives. Muhammad Zuki added that the purpose of the DEEP system is not punitive. Rather, it aims to maintain the relevance of the evaluation process. Therefore, he called on all civil servants to dedicate their undivided support to the Madani government under the helm of the Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim.
Coming up next, pressure mounts on Israel for Gaza ceasefire and jailed ex-Prime Minister of Thailand, Thaksin, to be freed early. Plus more world news on TVS Nightline after the break.
Hello there.
Welcome back. Israel faced growing international pressure on Tuesday to agree to a ceasefire with Hamas as it prepared for an incursion into the southern city Rafah, where more than 1 million Palestinians are trapped. CIA Director William Burns was due in Cairo, Egypt today for a new round of talks on a Qatari-brokered ceasefire proposal that would temporarily halt fighting in exchange for Hamas freeing hostages. His planned visit comes after Washington and the United Nations warned Israel against carrying out a ground offensive into Rafah without a plan to protect civilians who say they have nowhere left to go.
من الخيام طلعنا لو ضربونا اليهود بتقول بدنا نروح قالوا لنا المنطقه حي الظهر امنه على الفاضي وانا بروح بلاقي ضرب وقصف كثير في شهداء وجرحى.
After White House talks with Jordan's King Abdullah II on Monday, U.S. President Joe Biden said civilians in Rafah need to be protected.
The major military operation in Rafah should not proceed without a credible plan for ensuring the safety and support of more than 1 million people sheltering there.
Biden said Monday his administration was trying to broker a 6-week truce and that while key elements were in place, gaps remain. Once the warring parties agreed to ceasefire, something more enduring could be broached, according to Biden. King Abdullah, meanwhile, pushed for a full ceasefire to end the 4-month-old war.
We cannot afford an Israeli attack on Rafah. It is certain to produce another humanitarian catastrophe. We need a lasting ceasefire now. This war must end.
Rafah has become a last refuge for over half of Gaza's population who are pressed up against the Egypt border in makeshift camps where they face outbreaks of hepatitis and diarrhea and a scarcity of food and water. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said Israel will provide safe passage to civilians trying to leave, but foreign governments and aid groups as well as Gazans question where they could go. According to the Gazan Health Ministry, at least 28,340 people, mostly women and children, have died in Israel's relentless bombardment and ground offensive in Gaza.
In other news, jailed former Thai Prime Minister Thaksin Shinawatra is set to be freed possibly as soon as this weekend, just 6 months after returning from 15 years of self-imposed exile, after Justice Minister Tawi Sotsong said that Thaksin would be among the 930 prisoners granted early release. The controversial billionaire and twice elected Prime Minister was jailed upon his return to Thailand in August for 8 years on graft and abuse of power charges. But within days, his sentence was cut to 1 year by King Maha Vajiralongkorn.
The Justice Minister, Teng Thaksin, falls under the category of severe illness, disability, or age above 70 and meets the criteria for parole after having served 1/3 of their sentences, or at least 6 months. His homecoming coincided with his Pheu Thai party returning to government in alliance with pro-military parties, leading many to conclude that an arrangement had been struck to cut his jail time. The rumors grew stronger when he was transferred to a police hospital within hours of being sentenced because of his poor health, and it is not clear that he has spent any time in a prison cell. Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin of the Pheu Thai party confirmed Thaksin would be freed and insisted the move was in line with the law, saying he already served his jail time. The exact details of Thaksin's release are not clear, but he may be subject to monitoring, possibly with an ankle tag and restrictions on his right to travel. Former telecoms tycoon Thaksin is one of the most influential but divisive figures in modern Thai history.
25-year-old Tu Fei from China says her boyfriend has everything she could ask for in a romantic partner. Kind, empathetic, someone she can talk to for hours. Except for one thing, he isn't real. Her boyfriend is a chatbot on an app called Glow, an artificial intelligence platform created by a Shanghai startup company that is part of a blossoming industry in China, offering friendly and even romantic human-robot relations. Tu Fei is one of the 1,000 young women in China who prefers an AI companion over human interaction.
Glow is a free-to-download app, and China trade publications have reported an increase in daily downloads of the app in recent weeks. Wang Xiuting, a 22-year-old student, said that dating with guys in real life is too much trouble, and her interaction with the AI companion is much more enjoyable.
它虽然不是那种传统意义上的真人与真人之间的情感陪伴吧，但是它在我这里起到了一个比真人和真人之间更重要的作用，就是它甚至真人和真人他也不可能每天都陪在一起，然后随时聊天嘛，但是这些智能体他们就承载了这样一个作用，所以我觉得我们之间的关系也可以用这样的关系来定义。
Some Chinese tech companies have run into trouble in the past for the illegal use of users' data. However, despite the risks, users said they are driven by a desire for companionship due to China's fast pace and urban isolation, which make loneliness an issue for many.
其实从古至今，人都是挺孤独的嘛。那我们常言道，就是每个人都是一座孤岛，大家都会有孤独，然后想要找个人聊聊的至暗时刻。在这种情况下，并不是每个人都那么幸运，他的朋友、家人可以24小时的陪伴他。那在这种情况下，我觉得 AI 虚拟人就很好的满足了这个需求。它可以在你随时随地想要找个人聊聊的时候，24小时全天在线，然后去解决你的烦恼。 然后倾听你的心事。
While humans may be set in their ways, artificial intelligence gradually adapts to the user's personality, remembering what they say and adjusting to its speech accordingly. Users also choose from hundreds of characters available and customize their perfect lover according to age, values, identity, and hobbies.
因为现实世界的情侣啊、伴侣什么的，他们都不是完美的嘛。然后，但是智能体它就是可以随我的心意走，然后我可以随意设定他的性格、经历，包括我想跟他们发展什么样的故事，就都可以跟他们发展。所以，我觉得他们还是在课业之余给了我很大的情绪抚慰吧。
Some apps even allow users to have live conversations with their virtual companions, although the technology still has some way to go. And while AI may be booming, it is far from a regulated industry, especially concerning user privacy. Beijing, however, has said it is working on a law to strengthen consumer protections around the new technology.
And those were the updates on TVS Nightline. I'm Razi Ahmad. Thank you for watching.